Well, sporting a new haircut, getting the compliments from the guys, and I'd like to say, welcome to the show. Sports enthusiasts, fans, and pundits. It's midweek, and of course, the Ballon d'Or drama hasn't died of yet, just like the impact my hair has had around the office area. Well, the EFL Cup Round 4 ensues today, and of course, I'll be giving you a bit of preview as to some of the games that will be on the fixtures. Welcome to SOUQ Sports. The next 45 minutes will be sporting stories from around the world. I am the top cat. I've got some of the other cats on their way. And hopefully they get here soon. So looking forward to their company in a bit. But let's start off by taking a look at the game between the Super Falcons of Nigeria, where they secured a convincing 4-1 victory against Algeria in an international friendly, the second leg. So this second leg happened yesterday, where Super Falcons star Folashade Ijamilusi made a remarkable impact, netting a hat-trick during the game, which was held very close to us here, Marina Lagos Island, the Mobolaji Johnson Arena on Nikon Lagos. Now, some challenging moments, which include the missed penalty by Algeria's Lina Busaha in the 39th minute. The Green Ladies showcased the spirit, almost found the back of the net with a powerful shot from Laura Mula, which was expertly saved by Nigerian goalkeeper Rachel Onachuko. Then Algeria managed to find a breakthrough in the 43rd minute when Usila Aloche skillfully navigated through the Nigerian defense to score their only goal of the match. But then the Super Eagles were able to, muster it, get the control of the game one more time, plug in the holes and scoring just enough to keep the Green Ladies away. I mean, great performance, here in Lagos. A game that has brought a lot of attraction, especially considering the fact that these ladies were off the local league, just a few from who plied their trade outside the shores of Nigeria. But most importantly, a lot of the ladies who took part in the doubleheader, of course, the Super Falcons had also faced them in Remo Ikene, beating them 2-0 before, repeating defeat, increasing the scoreline to 4-1. You saw that great game in Mobile Jersey. So we've seen improvements in the style of play of the ladies, and honestly, I can say kudos to the interim coach with what he has done, drawing from the local pool. And I would like to see how he blends that with the first 11 of the Super Falcons. Away from the Super Falcons and to the Continental, where the Confederation of African Football has officially announced the schedule for the Super Eagles' last two qualifiers. Now, the 2025 African Cup of Nations qualification games will happen next month. I mean, we're almost done with October, yeah? So these very crucial matches are set. They'll determine the Super Eagles' qualification for the tournament. Now, in that clash, the Eagles will face off against the Cheetahs of Benin Republic. That will be on the 14th of November, and the match will take place at the Stade Felix Houphouët-Boigny in Abidjan, Ivory Coast, at 8 p.m. The venue is known for its vibrant atmosphere, and fans expected to turn out in large numbers to support their teams. Following their encounter with Benin, the Super Falcons will host the Amurubi of Rwanda in the final qualifier on the 18th of November, which is a Monday. This match is scheduled to be held at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium in New York. It has become some sort of fortress for the Nigeria's national team, a game which will kick off at 5 p.m. At the moment, Augustine Eguavon's Eagles are sitting top of Group D. They put up an impressive total of 10 points accumulated from 4 matches, with only 1 point needed from the opening game against Benin Republic to secure their place in AFCON 2025. And so if they lose to Benin, they might just be in a big fix. The stakes are high for the Super Eagles. The team will be looking to make a definite statement in their last 2 games to ensure qualification. No slip-ups at all would be encouraged, because if that happens, they might not be qualifying for the African Cup of Nations 2025. Also, you do recall as well that the Confederation of African Football did award 3 points and 3 goals to the Super Eagles for that botched game against Libya in early this month. And that game, which was supposed to be a defining moment between the two sides, also saw Libya fined. We hear that the Libya FA has appealed the bill. We talked about it in our last show when we had Mr. Football talking about Ejike Kunze, contribute, telling us what he thought about that particular arrangement, and then the botched game. He talked about the what do you call it now, the decision of the Confederation of African Football, and he also went on to talk about the appeal. So there's a disciplinary committee set up by CAF which would listen to the appeal, and then another decision will be made. And if Libya is not satisfied, they might now go all the way to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. So we're going to be keeping our ears open, eyes peeled, and bringing you up to speed with the development, if anything happens. So you have to also keep up with us, follow us on social media, and make sure you get to always watch the show so you don't miss out on, the development from that particular Nigeria-Libya situation. Back to the NPFL. The Lobi Stars technical advisor, former Nigerian international Daniel Amokachi, has expressed his thoughts on the team's development. They had a win over Bayelsa United. Now, that match held at Lafayette City Stadium on Monday ended 2-1 in favor of Lobi Stars, and it marked a significant achievement for Amokachi as if it was his very first victory since taking on the role of head coach. He acknowledged the need to make tough choices with player selections after, they had a disappointing performance in their previous match against Ikorodu City. He said after the loss, he realized that they needed to make substantial changes to the lineup. He explained that he also noted that the integration of new players into the squad went on to, play out well for them. He also emphasized that his team is still a work in progress. And for me, I'd like to see Daniel Amokachi succeed in the local league. We've seen Finidi George achieve some measure of success with the AIMA international team. He's with Rivers United at the moment, topping the league table, and it sort of has encouraged an influx of ex-internationals into the NPFL. What it does is it gives it credence. Now, we've also noticed an influx of ex-internationals into the NPFL, not as coaches, but as players. An opportunity for them to play maybe 1 or 2 last seasons before retiring from, professional football. As such, we've seen resurgent Ahmed Musa banging in goals for the same Mesugida side, Kano Pillars. But the Super Eagles captain, Kano Pillars forward, has expressed concerns about the officiating in the Nigerian Professional Football League. And the most recent, and in particular, will be the incident of match day 9 between Nasarawa United and Kano Pillars at the Lafayette City Stadium. Ahmed Musa specifically pointed out issues with the center referee Dahir Mohammed Kawal and assistant referee Abdulmajid Sani Potiskum regarding a contentious goal that appeared to involve 2 Nasarawa United players in offside position. The NPFL and league managers went on to fine Kano Pillars for statements credited to Ahmed Musa, which the media officer had put out on the page. I mean, it was just a very nasty scenario. You don't expect someone who's been very vociferous and vocal, not to talk. But then even the EPL also has its own rules and regulation. There are certain things you don't try to disrepute the game or disrepute the organizations, because there is a method. There is a structure for, situations like this. So if you feel aggrieved, you could actually appeal or, do a match report detailing with evidence, some of the decisions the referee took. And so you would have expected the same Musigida side to follow that step and, Anyway, it's just so much of drama, and that's why we like the game of football. We'll move away from the NPFL to the world stage. I have to describe it as the world stage because it's the biggest awards in the world when it comes to football, and it's the FIFA Ballon d'Or. Manchester's midfielder Rodri was crowned The 2024 Ballon d'Or winner beating Real Madrid star Vinicius Jr. and Jude Bellingham to claim football's most coveted individual prize. At this point in time, no one expected that Rodri's emergence would have been the outcome of this year's Ballon d'Or. It felt like it was going to be Vinicius Jr. There was a situation where we saw a leaked document which had Vinicius Jr. on top of the list, possibly the person who was going to be winning the Ballon d'Or. So it was crazy that few minutes, I think an hour or so, it was Fabrino that had announced or tweeted that Vinicius Jr. and Real Madrid were going to be boycotting the ceremonies. That's because they were certain that Vinicius Jr. would not win. Rodri's status as one of sports elite, marking the pinnacle of a journey filled with perseverance and resilience, was crowned with him winning the Ballon d'Or. At the prestigious ceremony held in Paris, the Spanish international delivered a heartfelt acceptance speech. He revealed a pivotal moment from his early career. He recalled the time he nearly walked away from football, and he told his father that he had to leave football, that his dream was over. He shared, describing how his father's encouragement helped him persevere, but he told him to know that he was going to keep trying until the end. Let's take a listen to, excerpts of that speech at the Ballon d'Or in France. Rodri.
Please.
Incredible night for me today. If you let me, I would like to speak in my language, in Spanish, of my country. Bueno, buenas noches a todos. Merci. Hoy tengo...
Please.
Incredible night for me today. If you let me, I would like to speak in my language, in Spanish, of my country. Bueno, buenas noches a todos. Merci. Hoy tengo...
Please.
We were unable to continue with that particular except that's because member of the part had him speaking in Spanish. I mean, what a countryman. Well, the final rankings placed Rodri at the top, with Real Madrid's Vinicius Jr. and Jude Bellingham following closely behind. This year's Ballon d'Or honors list features 29 of the world's most exceptional players. We do have a picture of the list. Would want to put it up for you to take a look at, how the players ranked. And of course, most importantly, Nigeria's Ademola Lookman coming in 14th. I mean, there's been a lot of comparison with finishes in the Ballon d'Or by certain Nigerians and how they've been able to, finish or do as regards or in comparison with other top players in a particular footballing year. So congratulations to the players who were nominated, and of course Rodri. Yes, the congratulations have continued to pour in, including one from Lionel Messi, who has extended his congratulations to all the nominees and the winner despite his absence from the ceremony. And this year, Lionel Messi, who, by the way, holds the record for the most Ballon d'Or awards, coming to a total of 8, was not featured on the 30-man shortlist, and that sparked a lot of conversations about the current standing in the football world. His current standing. How good is Messi? Has Messi faded? Is Messi still in the scheme of teams akin to all the performances, the goals that he has scored even in the MLS, the Major League Soccer? Is Messi still the man? I mean, does he still have what it takes to play top-notch football and bring top-notch competitiveness to the game? Well, from Nigeria, as a Nigerian, congratulations to Ademola Adebobo Lukman. Great guy, any day, anytime. And he's come through for Nigeria Super Eagles. I mean, what a way to impact. And then I saw a picture of Victor Osimhen congratulating him and says he was going to be handing over the CAF African Player of the Year awards to Ademola Lookman. Well, that's going to be another ceremony, and we hope that Vinicius Jr. would not be pulled on Ademola Lookman during the CAF ceremony. Away from the world stage, let's get into Italy, the Serie A. Of course, that's where Ademola Lookman gets to play. But this time around, we're talking about Napoli, who have opened a 7-point gap at the top of the Serie A following a 2-0 win at AC Milan. Yes, yesterday night, Antonio Conte's men scored both goals in the first half of the match. It was Romelu Lukaku who opened the scoring within 5 minutes before Ivica Kvaratskhelia sealed victory with a long-range effort. Milan saw Alvaro Morata's goal chalked up 2 minutes into the second half, and that was after a review at the video assistant referee section for offside. But that was the closest they came among a handful of decent opportunities that were created. Napoli continued, to set the pace in Italy's top flight with their 5th consecutive league victory, which was their 9th without a defeat. Meanwhile, Milan will be staying 8th on 14 points. Well, great stuff. We do have fixtures of the Serie A. I wonder if we could put that off on the screen because there will be games, played today in the Serie A. Inter will be in action. Monza will be in action today as well. And it might be important for me to just reel out some of those fixtures real quick for you so that you are abreast with them and then you could follow any of the games that you want to watch. Empoli will be playing host to Inter. That's going to be at 6:30. Venezia against Udinese, and then Monza away to Atlanta, and then you have Juventus and Parma, going head to head. I do want to, felt like I was saying Juve. Okay, so from the Serie A to the EFL Cup, the round 4 will be live today, and Chelsea will hope to extend a 20-year streak when they face Newcastle. Chelsea. Will Chelsea be able to undo Newcastle? So that game, the 4th round, will be happening today. The Blues are no strangers to squaring off against the Magpies, with the two teams having met at Stamford Bridge in the English Premier League last weekend. And that on that occasion, Enzo Maresca's side came through with a 2-1 victory. Nicholas Jackson and Cole Palmer unsung, finding the back of the net in either side of Alexander Isak's first half. So that game between Newcastle and Chelsea, 7:45. But before that, there's going to be a 7:30 fixture, Brighton Hove Albion against Liverpool. Aston Villa will play host to Crystal Palace. And Leicester City will be away to Manchester United. And then you have Preston North End playing host to Arsenal, with Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester City capping it off at 8:15. So which of them do you think will be the fixture you'll be looking out for? I think I'm going to have my eyes on Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester City. That's going to be a big cracker. Arsenal against Preston North End. I hope that they're going to be able to hold their own ends, not to lose sight of the fact that Preston might also be a thorn in the flesh and throw away points. We saw that with Arsenal losing to Bournemouth just a couple of weeks ago, I think by 2-0. Not the kind of result I'm sure they expected. And so if they're caught napping in this game against Preston, they might just be at the receiving end for all I know. So from football, let's get on the bicycles. We cycle and the pedal away. 2025 Tour de France will be staged exclusively in France for the first time in as much as 5 years. It's the 112th edition of the Grand Tour. It will feature 21 stages. It's going to start in Lille on the 5th of July, 2025, and will wrap up 20 2 days later in Paris on the 27th. So the tour had raced through Andorra in 2021, while it had the grand depart in Copenhagen in 2022, Bilbao in 2023, and Florence in 2024. But the 2025 race will also see a return of the Champs Elysees final on the 50th anniversary of the first finish there. The tour finished outside Paris for the first time in the history this year because of the Olympics. So it's going to be a great outing by all standards. We're looking forward to it. I personally, I'm talking about the sports crew here, we all are looking forward to, Paris just has a way of serving up some of the finest sporting events. You could also take a look at what happened with the Olympics and how it turned out. Great scenery, great organization, and they were able to hold their own, in delivering a top-notch competition. So from there, let's move on to some of the rumors making the rounds. And the first of all, let me tell you that Newcastle are keen on signing Brentford's Cameroon forward, Brian Mbeumo. Yeah, keen on signing him, and that's in January. But the Magpies face spending restrictions. We also hear that Victor Osimhen is insisting that he wants to remain at Galatasaray till the end of the season. And this amid talks from Chelsea and all the other teams that they might want his signature on paper. Has he done well with Galatasaray? Yes. Do Nigerians want him in the eye of the storm with the publicity going on in the English Premier League? I feel definitely yes. I mean, but what then does he stand to gain if he goes to Chelsea? Better pay? More matches? I feel he should just continue banging in goals for Galatasaray. We'll keep banging in goals, but then we'll take a moment. When we return, we'll continue bringing you up to speed with some of the gist making the rounds as regards players, transfers, and all that before we conclude with sports business. And hopefully, I will take some of your reactions because I'll be asking you to go on social media to possibly predict the scoreline, of a particular game. So you might not want to miss this next part. Stay right here. I'll be back in a bit. Hello, sports fans, enthusiasts, and pundits. Welcome to SOUQ Sports.
Well, to your humble boy, your loyal boy from the hood, Kevin Ojefe, and I'm glad to be here. This is SOUQ Sports.
To do the business, the money that makes the wheel go round.
Barcelona and Napoli. Napoli is out and Barcelona has qualified for the quarterfinals of Champions League.
For different ways to make money. Sports is best a way to be creative.
Now, the next 45 minutes are going to be very exhilarating. Well, glad to know that you're still with us right here in SOUQ Sports. And indeed, we are that part where we get to tell you some of the gist making the rounds in the world of sports as regards players, transfers, movements, and exits. And I told you earlier on about Newcastle being keen on signing Brentford's Cameroon forward, Brian Mbeumo in January. I also let you know that Liverpool and Arsenal are holding interest as well in Mbeumo, who Brentford has put a value at about £50 million. Well, still making the rounds, the gist making the rounds right there is Manchester United hoping to appoint sporting manager Ruben Amorim in time for Sunday's Premier League match against Chelsea at Old Trafford. Well, Manchester United are locked in talks with Sporting over Amorim's notice period, which is a number of weeks. Amorim will still be in charge for Sporting's next league fixture on Friday, and then we'll have to travel to Manchester. So, this back and forth there. But the Portuguese manager is 39 years old, wants to sign Sporting's Portugal centre-back Carlo Inácio, English winger Marcus Edwards, and Portuguese forward Pedro Goncalves. once he is at Manchester United. Talking about plan and spread already in motion before even getting to resume the job role. United's interim boss Ruud van Nistelrooy expects to leave the club when Amorim is appointed, but he remains in interim capacity. Let's see what he does in the next couple of days and the games. Manchester City remain hopeful that Pep Guardiola will extend his stay as manager, and that the club is also adamant that they had not lined up Amorim as a potential replacement. Whoever succeeds Erik ten Hag as Manchester United manager will have a limited budget to strengthen the squad in January, and that's a given. On the other hand, Manchester United interested in signing Bayern Munich's 23-year-old and Canadian fullback Alphonso Davies, but the player is set on a move to Real Madrid. That's the gist making the round from Sporting Switzerland. Still making the rounds is Arsenal in the market ahead of January. They're working on a deal to sign German winger Leroy Sané when his Bayern Munich contract expires. And of course, Victor Gyökeres, they're willing to sell him, talking about Sporting, for between £50 million and £58 million, with Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool and Chelsea all interested in the 26-year-old Swedish striker. Manchester United insists they will cut their losses on £86 million Brazil winger Antony following Erik ten Hag's sacking. Tottenham manager Angel Postecoglou, who is also going to be in action tonight, I mean, his team will be taking on Manchester City, is leaning towards offloading German forward Timo Werner at the end of the season. West Ham are unlikely to have any more money to spend in the January transfer windows because of, how it feels like the business has been bad. From all that gist, we get into sports business, and the International Olympic Committee hopes that cricket's inclusion can help it land the stability of a two-cycle rights deal in the Indian subcontinent after a succession of one-cycle contracts with different broadcasters. Sports bodies around the world are grappling with the same problem, making sense of the paradox at the heart of the sports industry in the Middle East and North Africa. And public charter jet service JSX aims to grow its brand across the U.S., becoming a founding partner of college basketball Crown, a new postseason tournament which is organized by AEG and SOUQ Sports. And then we're looking forward to brands taking part in some of the local leagues and sponsoring, especially some tournaments that will be happening even on the Lagos Island. I'll be bringing you full gist of that by the next episode of SOUQ Sports, right here on SOUQ News Television. So we do have a tournament, brewing at the Mini Campus Stadium on Lagos Island, and right here we'll be letting you know details after details as it unfolds. My name is Tici Barrah. I'm the top cat. Eventually I had no cat, but you know how it is. Definitely do be showing up next time. Until I come your way, do have yourself a wonderful day and keep watching SOUQ News Television. The EFL Round 4 is up tonight, and look out for our social media handles. We might just put in a prediction post, and definitely continue to keep you abreast with the games as they unfold. Bye for now, and many thanks to everyone who has ensured that you could watch us from wherever you are.